still am, but at that point I realized, like, wow, this is a weird story. This guy, he's not part of people, and he's going to become a part of people against his will. And I sold the idea, and we did the show, and there was always this like thing, you know, the whole point of the story was that a thing happened that is beyond description. Like in that room, to this asshole in that study group. That's what I was pitching. I didn't have to know what it was. I'm not an expert at it. I don't own that thing. I don't carry that thing. All I had to do was say, a thing happened beyond description, and that was the story. And then we told that story for as long as we could at NBC. And at somewhere along the way, it became very addictive to you guys because you started feeding back through YouTube and Twitter and all the who's its and what's its. And we started feeding back on the feedback, and the word community became this very meta word. The funniest thing about this whole thing is that there was this one point before the first season aired where I was on the speakerphone with marketing experts that told me that the name of the show needed to be Community College because the word community algorithmically is not allowed to trend. It's a very good reason. I mean, the word community, you know, Twitter's algorithm is very complicated. If it just went with words and what words were being mentioned, you know, the top 10 Twitter trends would always be the of a, Bieber. And so they have an algorithm that filters out this stuff. So words like community and taxi, cheers, friends, you know, those words they're not allowed to be like trending topics because they're very basic words. They're incredibly basic words. The community is used over and over and over again on Twitter. If you hashtag community, if you search for the hashtag community on Twitter, you're going to run up against a bunch of people saying last night sucked, this night was great, whatever. But beyond that, you're going to see people going like, the Hispanic community needs to do this, and the secret to community is this and that. And the interesting thing is, like, we can go one of two ways with that. We can change the name of our show to Skittles McBiddles so that we can consolidate our marketing. Or we can make sure that the show is worthy of the name community. We can make sure that every time the word community is used, it is this powerful. It is as powerful as every person that has ever wanted to be in touch with another human being. And I was told that there wasn't going to be liquor served on the campus here tonight. I maybe did a couple shots before I came here. And I'm further drunk on a bunch of people wanting my autograph in the lobby. So I will say this, before what I really want to do is get questions from you guys and start the conversation, because I think that's the most valuable thing. But I do want to say this, and please be warned, I have not written this down, I have not rehearsed this. I thought about this while I was taking a bubble bath today. I don't have words for it. I'm going to hope that I can riff them and come up with them on the spot. There are two kinds of people in this world. There are the people that will have you think that there are two kinds of people in this world. And there are the good people. There is no good. There is no evil. There is just a war going on between the people that want you to think there's a war going on and the people that know there doesn't have to be one. There is a celebration of, there's two facts about humanity. One is, and they're both undeniable. Okay, you are reminded of them every second, every breath you take. You are reminded of these two facts about humanity. They're inescapable. One is that we are separate. You can't escape that. You'll never be able to escape that. The other is that we're absolutely together. And those two things are like swirling and swirling and swirling around. And you have a choice with every breath you take and every sentence you make to celebrate one side or the other. You can celebrate the separation or you can celebrate the union. And you can forgive yourself for celebrating the separation constantly. That is what you are. You wake up in bed not part of some kind of like blob of humanity, not part of some big bang. You wake up as John Smith or Kyle Davidson or someone with not like a weird white name. Maybe even a woman. You might even wake up a woman. And that would be weird, because you'd have nothing where your wiener's supposed to be. And I don't even know what to begin to tell you if that happens. Just try to get through the day. You wake up as an individual, but it's all those moments that you have that where that gets painful. Fall back on the fact that you are part of everyone around you. It is all a big joke, and the word community is a big joke, and the show doesn't have to be limited to 3 seasons or 4 seasons or 6 seasons or a hypothetical 8 seasons. You can have favorite episodes, you can have least favorite episodes, you can have favorite seasons, you can have eras that you divide it into. Just keep having these conventions. Just keep getting together. Because I think it's a good enough, I think the show, like the reason why you're here and not at a How I Met Your Mother convention is not because I'm a genius, and it's not because Megan Gantz or Chris McKenna, or it's not because collectively we did anything. It's not because Joel McHale's abs are awesome. It's not because Allison Brie's cleavage is amazing. It's not because of That's adorable. It's not because Britta's the worst. It is all of those things all together, but most importantly it's because everybody that worked on that show, they poured their hearts and souls into it like any 200 people might choose to do. They all spontaneously chose to do it. And then this weird thing happened where we felt this tidal wave come back. In the absence of Nielsen ratings, in the absence of critical praise, we felt this tidal wave come back in the form of 16-year-old girls editing amazing YouTube videos. And Tumblr blogs, and pogs, and animated GIFs, and GIFs. I'm not dead yet. I know how to pronounce GIFs. You can make that choice. There's writers in this room, there's editors in this room, there's directors in this room, there's actors in this room. It sounds corny, but figure out who you are as an individual, and I think the most important thing you can know, I'm going to predict this about you as an individual as you try to figure out who you are, but go ahead and learn this on your own time. You want to be a part of all the other individuals. You don't want to be alone. There is a personality disorder for every single thing you could name under the sun. There are people who put entire jars of peanut butter up their butt. There are people who are sexually attracted to cats. But there is no one who wants to be alone. Nobody. We take hardened criminals and we put them in solitary confinement, and they go insane. They start banging on the walls and going, please let me out. They want to be let out so they can stab someone with a toothbrush, but they want to be let out. They want to be near somebody. I'm not saying that everyone's going to hug each other when they get near each other, but nobody wants to be alone. That's a starting point. That means something. That's what this show is about. So when you're watching your favorite shows, if it's your, some episodes suck and some episodes are great. It's all that for all different people. But you like the show because the idea underneath it has something to do with the crazy guy that's telling you this was saying this. That thought goes nowhere. It's stupid. It doesn't matter. Let's do some freestyle rapping. Hey, Jacques, get up here. Yeah. It's KU. I just ran into him in the hall. Remember the episode where Chevy was at the end, he was playing the keyboard, and it was,
East side, west side, north side, south.
East side, west side, north side, south.
Vaughn left is so bad his butt smells like his mouth. The rap is 5 years, but Vaughn is dummy when diamonds are bad and sucks his mother's thumb. Nigga was that something wishing he was me. He has a big poop breakfast in a glass of tea. He's stupid again, and everybody hates him, even all his friends. This battle is on. This rap goes out to stupid Vaughn. Community, it's in its 3rd season or 4th season. It doesn't matter. You know the reason that we're all here is to make sure we watch the show. Everybody put your hands and say, ho! Wow, I didn't expect that. This is real rap. It's all freestyle. Let's do it meanwhile. See this man here? I guess a child in a man's body, the way he writes it. But everybody loves it, but NBC, they want to strike it out of the script. But that's okay, then this damn just flips. And he gets it his own way. And everybody loves it, the way he plays his words on paper. I guess that's greater than not having it happen or on YouTube or something. I don't know. So a lot of you guys don't know that, like, Dan should say that I wrote all the raps for season 1, because Dan was a big part of a lot of the raps. So Dan's a rapper on the inside. I don't know if you guys know that.
I'm a rap master.
He's a rap master. MC Dan Nasty. So you guys check out. Thank you, Dan.
All right, Jacques. Trying to bring him up. It's an unsung hero. All right, so is there a way to, we could, if you guys want to use the, oh, you have a wireless, okay, yeah, because usually the Q&A gets short shrift. I don't really have that much to say. I hope the convention went well. I also want to say, this is such a weird thing, but I would have absolutely come to like everything throughout the day, but it was such a weird position to be in because if I had come to, for instance, the writers panel, and then I would be like, it's sitting in the back, and then they would go, well, get up here, and then it wouldn't be the writers panel anymore, and it would be, so I couldn't come. I wanted to be here, and I just wanted to say that in case you thought, well, why isn't Dan here? I don't have anything better to do. If 8 people have like a Troy costume contest in their living room, I'll be there. It was just weird today, I couldn't come. If anybody, I mean, I guess we could just do it, raise hand and run the mic to him style, right? Like, and
Hello.
Hello.
Anna.
Oh my God, you have that many questions? It's Annie.
I'd like to take the 300th part first. Actually, I'm a writer, and I wanted to know about your process, like what that's like.
She said, I want to know about your process. I've never had one, to my knowledge, I swear to God. On Community, because of the nature of network TV, we sidled into a process that was about coming up with premises, ideas, which are, those should just be free form. You're driving in on the way to work, you see a billboard, it says Q-tips are great. You think Q-tips, like the idea could be as simple as Q-tips, or Shirley is allergic to Q-tips, or like try and I would build a robot, kind of like any kind of random idea. Those are just ideas. And then the next step is to kind of see whether or not those things can be cleaved into the beginning of a story. I started adopting biological nomenclature because it seemed to lend itself to it. Some people are put off by, male writers' tendency to characterize writing as child development, because it's like, seems like, oh, it's so hard to create. It did seem to lend itself to that from my knowledge of biology, that, first you have one cell, which is like just a dumb idea. Just like anything, fluorescent lights, Superman hat, pedophile. No, I'm sorry. The irony is I pointed at a kid when I said that. I was doing a joke where you point at somebody and then I said, but I pointed at a kid, which makes it look like irony. That backfired. Oh boy. Wrap him in a blanket and get him to his dad. I'm so sorry, son. Go watch Big Bang Theory. I'm so sorry. You'll never be abused by it. It starts as just a simple concept, and then the way it starts to become a story, the first step is can you divide it between two worlds? Like, so if the idea is pencil, okay, so is there a world where pencils are amazing and a world where pencils are not amazing? I don't know. Like is there a way to divide the idea of pencil into a ordinary world, as Sid Field would say, and a special world? Sid Field is a screenwriting guru. You should check out his stuff because I ripped it off greatly. He's a feature screenwriting guru. And then from there, it's like then you kind of start to get a premise, I think, which is like, what if you thought someone hates pencils, like Pierce thinks he hates pencils, and so he decides to get rid of all pencils, and we move into a world where there's no pencils. And then from there, you start to break it up into what I call an embryo, which is just that like 8-part story circle. Where it's like, well, Pierce has a pencil, then he realizes he needs a pen, but he can't have one, so he hates all pencils, and he moves into a world where he tries to get rid of all pencils. He gets to the middle point on the bottom half of the circle where he finally gets rid of all pencils, but then he needs one in order to get his inheritance because that's a condition of a will or something. So he realizes pencils are important and comes back up as a master of all pencils or something. And we kind of go around the circle. That's an example of a story that would suck and we wouldn't do it. But from there, it's like so then the writers would break the stories that way, and then they would write the stories down longhand on a whiteboard, and I would come into the room and they would pitch the stories like, okay, fade in on here. We would work on it and stuff, either go back to the drawing board or continue forward. Then a respective writer would take that whiteboard and take it to outline. They would turn it around in a couple days. Or what we call the spit draft if they didn't like outlining, which is just a shitty like script where like the people are literally going, my name is Pierce and I hate myself. Their dialogue is just stupid. In either case, then we take that, we look at it for bugs, anything, glitches, send that writer out for a week. They get to go home. They probably play video games for 6 days and then write the draft for a 7th day, as is their right. Or I don't know why I'm projecting that onto them. They probably work really hard. That's me I just described. They come back with a draft, then the room kind of would take it over and punch it up. But you asked about my process. That was the NBC process. The community process. I still don't have a process. My process is, if you give me 9 months to write something, I will find out what I can masturbate to for 8 months and 3 weeks. And then I will come to a confrontation with myself in a corner bar, where the ghost of my dad says, you don't work hard enough, and I go, screw you, and then I get an extension on my deadline, and it always comes out differently. It depends on the employer. All right, so who another question I can riff on. We got what's that? Oh, okay. Don't we have some community people here in the wings? Come on, why don't you come up here, sugar? Come up here, baby. She said she would freestyle.
What he was saying about the not wanting to steal anybody's thunder, because me and Gillian wanted to come so bad, but we wanted to make sure that that Danielle and Charlie and everyone that had their panel got their time to see what this feels like, because this is the most amazing feeling that you guys give us. It's just a ball of love. So we are overjoyed to be here. We wanted you to know that if we could have come to everything, we would have come to everything. We're just so happy to see your little faces and so happy to see you.
the secret to. We would be able to come to everything if the conventions got big enough that we could be incommunicado, you know, like we could incognito. Yeah, you could have like a beard and a chef hat. She could be like a tree with her dog next to her. Say some things to the nice people. A little.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Really nice for us. This feels really good, and thank you for coming. Thank you for loving the show. And as much as you get out of it, we get out of you loving the show. So thank you all.
Go back. Go back to the crowd. Yeah, all right. She wants me to work the crowd. Hey. Hey, what's your name? My condolences. Hey, where are you from? How do you know when you're finished? Yeah, working the crib. Working the crib. I thought that's what they wanted me to do. So go back, go back. What's that? Well, that guy. Look at his antics. Give him the microphone.
I just gotta say three things. First, I am the guy to you. That's without a doubt the highlight of my life.
Bless you, son.
And two other things that I have on my mind. The first.
How much bad rapping do I have to do to lower myself enough to?
All right. First thing. One of my favorite things I love seeing in the DVDs was how at like the end of the season you would always like bring in the cast for like some sort of like huge interview and whatnot.
Yeah.
And out of like all the questions you've ever asked, who do you think like out of everyone like individually like gave you like the best feedback?
Oh boy, that's tough. I don't know. I thought Gillian was really funny. Like, it was really fun to edit her. Is that what you're asking? Like, when we did those cast evaluations, who do you think was the best at it?
Well, not trying to touch
between a bad and Gillian, like that?
No, I'm not telling you to pick favorites. I love both of them no matter what. I mean, what?
Is that what you're asking? Though? You're asking me to pick favorite?
My second thing, which I wanted to refer to everyone else here, can we get Harmon 2016 trending on Twitter right now?
That is exactly the lukewarm of response I would want. I'm very flattered by that individual sentiment. I am so glad that the room didn't appreciate applause and go, yes, and love equates to political infamy. Politicians are professional liars. They're brewed in a vat underneath the Pentagon, and they are not good at washing dishes, and they don't make anything. And then they either get to be president or not, and no one wants to be one of them. But I could go on and on. I hope the message was clear from Community, come hell or high water every episode. I hope intimated the message, however over your head, or on top of your head like a sandbag, or into your gut like a boxer's punch. That anything inhuman is bad. And everything human is good. Like the only thing bad is a system. Anytime someone stops saying me and speaking for themselves and being who they are, you can start to distrust them to the extent that they're speaking for them and their friend, or them and their group of friends, or them and their organization, them and their committee, them and their government. Like systems are, they may serve a purpose, they may not, but one thing's for sure, they're not human. They're not speaking for anybody but a system. And individual humans are amazing and forgivable and powerful and able to create systems and change. So take that, tuck your kids in with it. Harmon 2016. who else? Let's shoot some hands up. I got a Superman cap.
Ask Warren if you're going to do anything else, any more projects.
Nope. I'm out. I can't top this. But that is serious. No, I will continue to do projects because my job is to keep throughout history, how many people have made stuff that you really liked, that then followed it up with something that you really liked. Like you look at Star Wars, look at Die Hard, look at really cool stuff. Look at teams of people who made stuff you really liked, trying to make it again as hard as they could, no matter where their heart is and how often they succeed and fail. And what really gets driven home is that these things are, they're times and places and they're groups of people. 200 people made Community, and not all the same 200 people for all 3 seasons of Community, and certainly not for the 4th season also, like definitely not all the same people. It's people change and all this stuff, and this series kept changing, and so what are the odds that 1/200th of that show is going to go off and make something awesome for Fox? So that's not what you asked. You asked, am I making something? And I'm making the presumption of answering a question, will it be genius or not? That goes to show you why it won't be, because I will not have my head out of my ass when I'm writing it. I wrote a thing for CBS. I gave it to them. It was as a CBS thing should be. It was driven by the idea of a certain actor being in it, and I don't think he wanted to do it. And I think that thing will fizzle, and it's a multi-camera thing, and maybe it should fizzle. I'm writing a thing for Fox, and that will be probably, hopefully, if I have anything to do with it, more of a single camera thing, like Community. It'll be like, I don't know how much like Community it can end up being, because I won't have the same 200 people with me, making it. So, but I'm writing something for Fox. So back to the drawing board on that, and then in 2014, a Adult Swim show for Adult Swim, of all places. That was all the elements, how you thought Community was great because it's a sitcom, but it had sci-fi elements. Imagine if you extracted all the sci-fi elements and just made a show about that. Maybe you'll find out, oh no, that's not what makes a show good either. There's multiple timelines in every episode, and all of them have time travel and teleportation, and you can have an apple for a head if you wish for it. That might not be the secret ingredient, but we'll see, because I'm making a sandwich out of that and that alone at Adult Swim. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. It'll be cool. All right, thank you, Superman Hack.
What went into the song?
Yo.
Hey, Dan. What can you explain the process of selecting the actors and why you chose them for the specific parts?
The actors were chosen in a very patient, agonizingly restrained way that was taught to me by the Russo brothers who directed the pilot, and then were EPs on the series. We were casting the pilot. They told me, everyone's going to tell you it's pilot season, so if you find somebody you like, you got to grab them, because if you try to find someone better, you're going to lose that person too, and then you'll have nobody. Don't believe in that mentality. And the Russo brothers told me, find the people that you like. There's a million actors out there. The actors don't want to hear this. Cover your ears. But there's a sea of actor out there. You can just paw through them, and but it's like shopping for a fur coat. You just go to a different store if you don't like it. But it really was true, because that's how you find the people that you need for that particular show. And even though that the actors don't want to hear that sausage factory is grinding gears, the truth is that in the grand scheme of things, that's how the actors get fit like a key into a tumbler in the shows that they really belong in. Because what we were looking for in Community was incredibly versatile actors. It was about versatility. We were doing a single camera comedy, which means that it should feel cinematic. There has to be a reason why there's no laugh track. The reason has to be it feels like a movie. You have to feel like you're being told a story. You have to feel immersed. You have to feel like they're real. But at the same time, it's a comedy. So you have to have that 30 Rock pacing, that cadence that's so unnatural. Set up, punchline, set up, punchline, set up, punchline. And even more so than on a multi-camera show, because there's no pause for laughter. So it gets even more uncanny that these people are going, set up punchline, set up punchline. And yet it's supposed to feel like a Wes Anderson movie. So we knew from the outset we needed acrobats. We needed people who could do a like a pizza commercial, or a multicam sitcom, or an independent movie. And Yvette, as an example, in her audition, she came in and she sat down and she did this great big, really funny read of Shirley's character, and I said, I was tired. It was the end of the day, so I was tired of being diplomatic about it. And I said, I don't know what offends actors and what doesn't. I said, okay, great. Like, well, if we could call that the multi-camera read of that character, can you do the single camera read? And she said, okay. And we did it again. She said, boom, bullseye. Like, we acted like she was in a movie. And I said, okay, can I show you to my friends? Like, and that was everybody. Gillian came in and was like, holy crap, she's funny, but she's a dramatic actor. And Joel is the guy from The Soup, but he is classically trained. He could be in a Shakespearean film by Kenneth Branagh if he wanted to. And has been. You should look up. It's called As Good as You Like It. It's amazing. It was panned by critics, 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, but a lot of really low cut, ruffled shirts. He looks beautiful, beautiful. So it was versatility. It was asking people to run lines and then asking them to run it a completely different way. Pretend it's a drama, pretend it's a comedy, pretend it's a three-ring circus, pretend it's a cereal box, pretend it's a cartoon, and those are the people we needed. But we didn't know why back then, how much we would need that. I didn't know it was going to be the show that was like, boing, I'm a cereal box one day. But I guess I'm a genius and a time traveler. Yeah. Harmon 2016. Go. Yeah. All right. Any more questions? I saw that hand back there first. Dreadlocks. Pass it down to Dreadlocks.
Hi. As much as generic, stupid, fun questions go, what was your favorite episode and why?
My favorite episode, I always say, is the D&D episode because I don't think that you needed to know anything about Community to like that episode, which is cool. That's a great piece of craftsmanship there. I'd like to think that about every episode, but I think that's. And also, you didn't, we shot it in one room, basically, and the network and studio both hated it, and both asked me not to do it, and we did it anyway, and it was amazing, and I've seen Dungeons and Dragons done by other sitcoms, and it's great that they did it, but the joke was always that they were playing D&D, and we sat down and said, how can we do an episode where it's a story within a story, where the story that they experience within Dungeons and Dragons is the story that actually has the stakes, and it's also like a great example of collaboration with my writing staff in the height of my favorite season, when I had learned to finally trust these other writers, because a lot of work on that episode, a lot of problem solving, a lot of Rubik's cubing on that episode happened while I was out of the room. Andrew Guest and Megan Gans and Chris McKenna, we really collaborated on that episode. They figured out while I was in the edit bay on set how the three different options for how to create a third act of a story about a bunch of people sitting around a table. And they were all good ideas, and we just kind of came to it together. And on top of it all, Chevy Chase was amazing in that episode, because he was playing himself, which was a scientific experiment that I felt like fucking Isaac Newton. I was like, see, this is him, and he's going to win an Emmy doing this. He's a villain. He's a bad person, and he loves loves it, and he's lovable for that reason. He saves a kid's life by committing to being a bad person. The thing that makes him a bad person is that he's selfish and like he's a child. Do not go gentle into that good night. That is that character's like mantra. You know, like there's a part of us that's made of dough and that's angry at God for baking us and eating us, and says, "Fuck you! I don't want to die." And we can suppress that, or we can have it celebrated in Daffy Duck and Chevy Chase. You know. And I really, it was a successful episode of Community for all those reasons. I thought it was great. I got hands everywhere. Do I have to pick one? All right. Well, let's keep going back, because I don't know why the people in front are so privileged.
At what point do you think you'll make a feature?
At what point do I think I'll make a feature? I want to really bad. TV like keeps beckoning to me. As soon as TV's done with me, really, which won't be long. It won't. There will be
A year or two?
I'm going to exhaust my options in network TV, which I'm doing a good job of. Then I'll try to emulate Vince Gilligan in basic cable, and whether I'm successful or not, I'll have more time to do like a feature script at that point, I think.
And how's the progress on the Charlie Kaufman Kickstarter?
It's going good. My job on that is very simple: to stay out of Charlie Kaufman's way. So that's what I've been doing all my life, and I'm really good at it. So yeah, they're headlong into shooting it, and it's pretty amazing. Yeah. All right. Redhead. Not because she's a redhead.
When in your life did you realize you wanted to make people go ha ha for a living?
I don't know. When did I want to make people laugh for a living? I don't know. I always wanted to be the center of attention. I always wanted people to be happy because I was in the room. I think, I don't know, I was a little tiny, itty bitty little guy. I used to do little shows for my mom's birthday and for Valentine's Day and stuff. I would just put a little desk and pretend I was Johnny Carson and stuff. So I think, yeah, like three. All right, let's move up front. Let's get Hoodie up here.
I want to talk a little bit, hoping you would talk a little bit about the character of Annie. And I've read a lot that initially it was supposed to be kind of the character of Annie. I was hoping you'd talk a little bit about that. Initially, I've read a lot of things about how you want it to be more of a Tracy Flick election character, who's really kind of a sociopathic character. And I was just wondering how that evolved and changed to being such a warm character. Was it the casting of Allison, or was there something else that really changed that?
Good question. It was definitely the casting of Allison. It would have been the casting of anybody that we really lucked out with Allison. Dimensionalizing a character in TV, as it turns out, I learned this from working on Community, is about creating a two-dimensional character and then dropping a three-dimensional human being into it, and then doing everything you can to draw the actor's humanity into the character. Like so. And I always use Allison as an example because it's really easy to use her because she was one of the most two-dimensional characters in the pilot. She was specifically placed in the pilot to police Jeff Winger. It was that, you know, we have this like saying called stakes in story writing and TV, and there has to be stakes. Like the idea that Jeff Winger's going to get caught being a phony, so there had to be a character in the study group who knew Spanish, who knew that he wasn't a tutor, or was at risk of realizing that he wasn't a tutor. And so that's why that character was created. And then you flash forward and you go, oh my God, what happened with that character? It's like, no, it was created as this like just cardboard cutout, just a cop, you know, just to be there and blow the whistle and go, if you step out of line, I might be onto you. So Tracy Flick came to mind. So I wanted a young girl, because that's a classic community college archetype, is like somebody that was great in high school, but something went wrong, and now she feels like she shouldn't be in community college, and she's an overachiever, and blah, blah, blah. It was Tracy Flick. It was just a rip-off of someone's movie, so it was just a rip-off of someone's character. So Allison Brie gets cast in the role, and then by the Halloween episode of first season, it was like she's having her Halloween party, and she's in her little outfit, and then she's she was like, we were doing takes of like, okay, so your Halloween party's in full swing, and you know, so go for it. And she's like, hey everybody, I'm Annie. Isn't this great? And she brought all this like humanity to the idea. The original idea was, oh, she's this uptight girl, she's fragile, she's like a little china cup, she's gonna break. Joel's character is gonna break her. It's brother, I gotta go to her party. But she made it a real human being. She was silly. She was goofy. She, you know, and in a very specific Alison Brie way. That if Alison Brie's career continues, on the off chance that Alison Brie becomes famous, doing something else, you're always. I think you'll always, whether for better or for worse for her, you're always going to go a little tiny bit like, oh, there was a little Annie, because. It's not Annie, it's Alison Brie. So I think I answered your question. I don't remember what it was. I still have to pick, man. And then you're gonna make me do the costume contest, and I'm gonna have to pick costumes. It's the worst nightmare of all. Okay, this guy, nondescript guy, ninja man, blends in.
What do you think the importance of improv in a scripted comedy is, or what role does it have?
I think that, holy shit, is that Todd in the back? What? Yes. Get up here! Oh, you're already up here. All right, fuck you. Get out of here! Get out of here, Todd! You're the worst! Todded him. He was leaving, he was trying to leave. He's like, let's slip out quietly, and they todded him. Improv in the writers' room, I think it's crucial. I think that some writers come to the table with an inherent understanding that you have to do what we call an improv yes-anding. Like you have to not ask questions and not deny. You have to brainstorm with people. So if you're breaking a story and I say like okay, let's do a story about pencils. Someone came in, like, oh, Pierce wants a pencil. He wants to eliminate all pencils. I don't want to hear, well, pencils are, you know, they got lead in them, so that's probably, you know, lead poisoning. There was that lead poisoning incident at that college last week, and we probably don't want to do that. Get out of here. Get out of the writer's room. Like that's not your job. Your job isn't to figure out how we can't do a story about pencils. Your job is to bad ideas will reveal themselves to be bad ideas because you tried to make them good. You know, you drag them along and pump them up on your shoulders like Rudy and go, this is the best idea ever, pencil episode, and let it eventually betray you. But along the way, you're going to come up with a bunch of great ideas. So improv like teaches you, roots into your head, and it's really only the first week of an improv class that you learn that. You either get it or you don't. You don't have to be a master improviser to be a good writer, but I would recommend you take one class so that you can learn. Stop asking questions and stop denying when we're breaking episodes. On set, you'd have to talk to one of the actors about that. I mean, God knows, they all were gifted at like bringing their humanity onto camera and ignoring the fact that there were cameras around them. I mean, there's a little bit of improv in all acting. So I mean, the actors, God knows what voodoo they practice. I don't know. Ask them. They're weird. I mean, by nature, their job is to be psychotic. They literally live in two different worlds. One where there's cameras there and one where there isn't at the same time. Weird. Don't trust them. Okay. Let's go with the nearest hands. I want the guy in the Bumblebee costume to ask something, but I just realized the costume contest is lining up. The lady, I'm sorry. I'm 50 yards away. I don't know who's the bigger asshole in that exchange. I'll take it myself.
So Community had a lot of episodes where maybe normal people would say you can't do that, like a stop motion episode or multiple timelines, or they did a lot of crazy stuff, which was awesome. That's why we love it so much. But did you guys ever have an idea that you literally just could not do? It was like, no, this is too crazy even for us.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, there was a point where, I mean, it usually had to do with, okay, it's too late in the year, like we can't figure out how to do that anymore. I'm trying to think. Are there any writers? Barbara, come up here. And come up here with a good answer. Nicolas Cage, that's it. Okay, yes. For 2 seasons probably, we wanted to do an episode where Jeff Winger pretended there was a class called Nicolas Cage Appreciation. So it was another one of Jeff Winger's blowout classes, and then the dean caught them, and his punishment to them is that he was going to make that a real class and force them to watch all the Nicolas Cage movies in one night. And it was going to be like this weird, like we really worked hard on that episode. Like we broke it forever.
The threshold was leaving Las Vegas. We had arguments about why that's not the threshold.
Right. Yeah. There was a million. Like the thing about Nicolas Cage's movies is like the truth is, unless you're a totally cynical dick, you have to embrace the fact that Nicolas Cage is a pretty good actor. Like he's in a lot of weird, dumb movies, but like you can't. He is like that was supposed to be the point of the episode. It was like Nicolas Cage as a metaphor for God or for society or something, like, or for the self. Is like wait, you can't. Like, what is Nicolas Cage? Like, what is he? Is he an idiot or a genius? Can you write him off, or is he inextricably bound to your soul? And we were trying to figure out how to break a story around that. We just never. We actually did. We would have done that episode, but then Sony was going to make Ghost Rider 3 or something, right? Was it Ghost Rider 2?
They wouldn't let us clear anything. Like they were like, you're going to put clips of
Andy Bobro.
At a certain point, after we felt really good about what we had done, then we had to go talk to Pat Kenlon and say, we want to do an episode with 50 Nicolas Cage clips in it. And it was like, you can't do, obviously we wouldn't be showing the movie, but it was the same kind of problem. Like, you can't, can you reference, can you do dialogue, if they're watching it, do you have to see pieces of it, whatever.
Right. But it was Sony who was going to make Ghost Rider 2. And they actually said, like we're making Ghost Rider 2, or maybe it was 3, and they said, you can do that if you get Nicolas Cage's permission, I think. And then we went to him and we didn't get it. But I was it was always, I think anything that we ever wanted to do that we couldn't do, it was all, the reason was always just the fact that, these glaciers that make these amazing TV shows that have 250 people working on them, there's something that you could do on YouTube very easily, you need 6 months head time to be able to do it, or $600,000 that you don't have. Someone's gonna wave me if we go past time, right? Okay, cool. There's such a weird pressure to pick somebody to ask a question.
I just want to know, was it hard to get Chevy on board with celebrity pharmacology, because that episode is basically about him being a dick.
It was never hard to get Chevy to be on board any particular idea. He went through the scripts with a highlighter pen and looked for his name. That's all he did. So it didn't. You could write into the description. You could make it clear that the story was something that he might not like or might like, but the bottom line was he just went through and looked for his lines. By the way, he's my friend, and he calls me, and I talk to him weekly. He's my friend because he is comfortable with me calling him a dick, and I am comfortable with him calling me a fat alcoholic asshole. And we tried to make sweet music together, and there was a lot of tuba crashing and timpani drums ruining, And I got very mad at him for walking off the set on the final day of shooting on a network sitcom the day after which we wouldn't be able to pick up any more shots. That's why I got mad enough at him to, at a wrap party, lead the entire cast and crew in a chant of "Fuck you, Chevy" at the wrap party where you do things. It was a venting thing. Anyways, Chevy and I are friends. We're cool. Obviously, we're both in a very exclusive club. We're both going to be in an Albertsons commercial next week. Any other questions?
So as you reflect back on 3 successful seasons of Community, can you describe how you feel about it in one word? I know.
It's not Price is Right. It's my answer. Humanity. I mean, it's not a little funnier if I said boobs, but it was my big lesson. It was a big meta story about an asshole like learning to, like strangers, and it was my biggest, most collaborative effort backstage, and also in terms of relationship with the audience. It was the most people I ever got to touch at one time. It was the biggest audience I'd ever have, maybe ever will have, and the most contact I've ever had with them back and forth. So the name of the show and the idea that the team's name is the Human Beings, and this I don't know, this peopleness, this gross fleshiness, this rubbing togetherness. That was the leitmotif of the 3 seasons. It was about me and the effect I have on people when I get close to them. I'm starting to notice how many kids are in the audience and how much I've said.
In the commentary for digital estate planning, you mentioned you were dissatisfied with how it ended up. Now, after the fans saw it and went on to create a video game themselves about it.
Oh man, I just was playing that video game last night. The digital estate planning. Is he here? Is the guy that made it here? Oh, come. Oh, it's in the back of the station setup. Sorry. What was your question?
So has your opinion of that episode changed? Because you sounded dissatisfied.
I still haven't watched it, but I think I made it clear on that commentary track. I haven't watched that commentary track, but I get a lot of tweets of people saying, some people get genuinely mad at me. I get angry tweets at me going, why don't you stop bagging on that episode? It's pretty good, Dick. I made it. Why are you mad at me for wanting it to be good? I thought that I said on that commentary track over and over again the fact that what we were watching in the studio while we were recording the commentary track was about 30% finished. We were watching storyboards, drawings of what was to come, and a scratch VO track, because the whole point of that episode was to waylay scheduling, to the back end. So that episode was not done yet, and we were watching like drawings of an episode, and I was getting anxiety big time, as I should in the finishing stages of a great episode. Now I still haven't watched it. People like it, so that means it's good. That's the bottom line. Which is why I haven't watched the season 4 premiere, because if people like it, then it's good. And how can I possibly help or that situation? Because my job was to go into Community and say this sucks, like about episodes that you love. Sorry, I found that profound. Let's go further to the back. I got a hand. Yeah, the hand that's twisting and that's pointing at himself. The meta hand.
I've heard a lot of people compare Community to Arrested Development. I was just wondering.
Who? Probably Mitch Hurwitz.
So I was just wondering if that show inspired you all, or Mitch Hurwitz maybe,
Arrested Development definitely inspired me. Obviously, somebody could call out Russo brothers. They worked on Arrested Development, so there's probably a lot of flavor that they brought to Community. But also, I as a comedy writer, Arrested Development was incredibly inspiring. The timing of it was the most inspiring thing. The amount of credit it gave the human brain in terms of like how many jokes you were allowed to process per second. I think Mitch Hurwitz like ratcheted that up like by orders of magnitude. I think pop. Get him up here. So incredibly inspiring. And then there was that episode we unwittingly ripped off, apparently, the conspiracy theories episode. Some people said that was like a Arrested Development episode, which reveals that I didn't see every episode of Arrested Development. But I was inspired by it. Let's go for Inspector Spacetime over here. Oh, I keep giving you quite the exercise. It's a little less Inspector Spacetime, a little more Billy the Kid. It's fine.
So,
how much of the Dean puns did you write, and which one is your favorite?
I don't know. I think the Dean puns were always like, I think they were like a drip pan for all the writers. Like we kind of, I mean, punnery is the lowest form of comedy writing. I don't know. I can't remember when it started happening. It's like it had to be first season. There was a point when the dean, I think, said a new day is deaning, or a new dawn is deaning, or dean is dawning, or something. I think that was probably and it was like he's so obsessed with being a good dean that he inserts the word dean into stuff. Honestly, I don't know. I'd be willing to bet I never lent a hand in any of the deanery. But I don't know. For all I know, I did a lot. But I know it was it's like, what do you compare it to? It's like the foosball table in the office. Like it's like you go there to blow off steam. Like we're all supposed to be doing better work than having a guy substitute his name for stuff. It's like, it's like part of his character is that he was so enthusiastic and so identity obsessed that he put his name to stuff. I didn't answer your question. I didn't have a favorite one. My favorite one was, it was the best of Deans, it was the worst of Deans. Issue 8, Spider-Man versus Hulk. I don't remember. I will take the opportunity to tell the story if I never did in the first clip show episode when the montage of the dean coming in the different outfits. I think I've told this story before, but I just I went to the edit bay and I told the writers, just come up with some options, like have them come in, it's the dean coming in different outfits and saying different stuff, as is the formula. And I came back and they said, we came up with 5, and I went through all 5 and we just copied and pasted all 5 into the shooting script, and that's exactly what they were. It was one of my proudest days, because it was like, this show doesn't really need me at the end of the dean. I was glad that they were having that much fun. Sorry, I ruined it. Let's get a little kid question. There's a little kid back there. Wait, you want to know how big a honeycomb is? That's a reference you won't understand?
First up, Pop Pop.
Yeah!
What's the worst you've ever humiliated an actor on camera?
The worst I've ever humiliated an actor on camera. I mean, I didn't do a lot of the. I didn't do any of the directing, but I was present for humiliation of actors. Joel McHale. I actually wasn't even physically on set, but I watched him on a monitor do the George Michael video, and I could I've never admired him more because it was never more clear that he hated doing what he was doing, but he was if you watch, you won't know that he hated doing it. So it was like they'd run the thing like, well, I guess it would be nice, and then it would go, okay, cut, and he'd be like, he just wanted to kill himself. He was dressed like an idiot. I think all the actors got so thoroughly humiliated constantly. I remember Yvette coming to my office on for the Halloween episode. That in the first Halloween episode, first season, in the original script, you know how did you see the first season, the first Halloween episode? In the scene where Shirley goes with Britta to Professor Slater's office, and she's gonna put a water hose in her desk or something, bringing it through the window. Originally in the script, that's Shirley goes into the office and she unbuckles her pants and is going to take what you call a poo-poo in Professor Slater's desk drawer. and it dismayed Yvette Nicole Brown came to my office, and we were just starting to work together, and had a conversation with me that I thought was remarkable, because it was like, you know, she's taking her character seriously and taking her role as an actor on TV seriously, and not to pollute your brain with the stuff because you're a millennial and you don't need to know about race or gender or anything. But us old folks worry about race and gender too. There were like issues that were like wait, should she really be taking a dump in a desk drawer? And I was like, well, I don't, you know, like, let me see if we can come up with something that works just as well, that isn't, yeah, the hose worked fine. But it wasn't really, I mean, you're asking more like, did somebody have to dress like a hot dog? And Chevy. We started to take a lot of pleasure in doing stuff to Chevy, because he would indicate that like, well, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. So we're like, okay, and then the scene, you're like, you're a little sailor. You're a little sailor man. Well, you don't like being a little sailor? But my favorite thing is that clip show where he's a hot dog. The robot's chasing him, and Pierce is a hot dog, and he's going, oh, he's so distressed. Why is he a hot dog? Oh, it's so funny. God damn it. All right, let's keep the Kids Incorporated going. Yeah, that's true.
Outside of writing, what do you do for fun and relaxation, or just
Why that reaction? He said, outside of writing, what do you do for fun? And the crowd went, oh. I mean, there's stuff. All right. I play Minecraft. Do you play Minecraft? See? I play a lot of video games, and I pay attention to my girlfriend. That's something I learn about. That becomes a full-time hobby, we call it. And I don't know if you've made reservations for Valentine's Day, but I tried today, and it's a dog-eat-dog holiday. At 5:30 at the Tam O'Shanter, next to the kitchen. We're gonna have a Valentine's lunch, and then head to Dave and Buster's. In Simi Valley. All right. Anything else? There's a white gloved hand over there. Oh, one more. Okay. Well, let's make it a special one. Let's make it one so special that anyone that doesn't get picked for it should feel bad about themselves. We got that guy's friends are into him asking a question. It doesn't mean anything to me. Special question. What would make a question special? Is it the look on your face? Is it a look in your eye? Those are both kinds of looks on your face. All right. By popular demand, Ewan McGregor in the Jude Law in the green shirt. Full-haired Jude Law, age 23. Thank you. You're welcome, Pleasure Bot.
I've always been really curious which character you sort of see the most of yourself in, and like which one I would say like you're most emotionally attached to.
I mean, I think the easy answer it became Abed, but it was also really an even split between Jeff and Abed. But Jeff is an easy character to not have to maintain, because, like, when I wrote the pilot, the idea was that I was Jeff, because Jeff was an a-hole that was interested in himself and learned to love people. And then we snuck this character in the back door that was a nerd and obsessed with pop culture, because I needed an air hole for this caterpillar jar. That was like, okay, I'm writing a sitcom. What if I write it badly? I need someone to be able to say this is like a sitcom doing it badly. And I made that character a film student, and I slowly like snuck him in, and slowly became more and more him. And I've said this before, and I think in